one of the main anxieties was that the school finishes, sort of the nursery term finishes at the end of June, and then school doesn't start until mid-August, and that's usually a 6 or 7 week break where, unless they're in private nursery, which continues throughout the summer, the children have maybe had a few visits at school, they're feeling positive about it, but then there's the isolation, maybe some of them aren't meeting up with friends over the summer, so as I say, it kind of builds up anxiety for coming back in August. So I identified that was a great opportunity for me to provide an intervention, to provide some support over the summer. So in partnership with Active Schools, I facilitated 2 events. One was indoors and one was outdoors, and the outdoor activity was at the local park. And Active Schools brought along some equipment, so we had tennis, we had the hockey sticks, we had also just some traditional old-fashioned playground games, so elastic bands, skipping ropes, and just had a light-hearted, fun afternoon for the kids to come together, to play, to build relationships, but also see a few familiar faces from the school. So it was really fortunate that Mrs McGregor was able to come along during the school holidays and support the event. And also, again, the parents were able to have a chat over the summer, maybe about any anxieties or any issues that they were finding, or any questions that they had prior to coming back to school. Because of the inclement weather in Scotland, I thought I'd better have an indoor event just in case. So I used the Irvine Library for that. And again, what the library found on the back of it was that parents had actually joined the library that day and were then able to use the library as a community resource throughout the rest of the summer. And I also observed parents arranging further play dates over the summer holidays. So I would say that that's probably the main benefit, one of the main benefits anyway, that the parents and the families as a whole enjoyed, and it certainly helped with the transition, because it reduced the isolation and helped them continue those relationships and reduce the anxiety before coming back after the summer holidays. I also was able to, in partnership with the school, provide an information workshop on early level learning. And before I started this job, I've got 3 children. Sometimes you don't know yourself how to support your children's learning. What would be beneficial for them starting school? What could I start to do just now, especially over the summer months, that we get them in the best place possible for starting school? So tips. I spoke to the primary 1 teachers to ask what would be beneficial to share with parents, what would help them for the children coming in primary 1, what would be useful if the children were more independent in doing. So some examples were being able to hold a pencil correctly, or to be able to share information with parents on fine motor skills and how, by building up the muscles in the hand, that would help their children with their writing. So by explaining to parents how using Play-Doh and bricks and puzzles are helping develop their children's fine motor skills, which in turn helps them be ready to write. A lot of parents weren't aware of that. And again, another tip for parents was around numeracy, and a lot of parents have said how their children can maybe count to 10 or 20, and by sharing the fact that sometimes it's not as important to be able to count by rote, but to be secure in their numbers, so 1 to 5, 5 to 1, what comes after 2, what comes after 4 or before 4, then it's increasing their children's numeracy skills. So certainly I got some really good feedback from parents as to how it had enhanced their awareness and understanding of their children's learning and how they could support that at home. The information leaflet that I also provided to parents was on the back of the conversations with the primary 1 teachers, and what would be useful tips to share with parents, but also with the Professional Learning Academy, who provide training and support to teaching staff across North Ayrshire, and in partnership with the Professional Learning Academy, the primary one teachers, and from what I knew, what parents were asking, we produced that information leaflet, which again, we've had really good feedback from parents on the usefulness of that. So I'm really looking forward to, now that the children have joined primary one and have built those relationships with the parents, we're really looking forward to some opportunities to continue that family learning within the school. And I'll hold an engagement event to get some feedback and ideas from the family members as to what that might look like, whether it's family fun club, family homework club, spending some time learning in class with their children. So I'm flexible and really happy to provide opportunities and programmes that would meet the family's needs and wants.